Hey guys, welcome back to the Drifter Journey channel. Today we have an exciting review video for you today. We're going to share the Compo Closet Cuddy Lite portable camping toilet with you guys. We are wrapping up a trip in Moab. It's a very chilly morning, so that's why we're all bundled up. But Compo Closet did send this to us at no charge in order to try out, and we've been using it for the last several days here in Moab, so let's get to what we think about it.
And check down below for a discount in the description.
Alright, so first things first, we're going to get into the specs of the Compo Closet. Once again, this is the Cuddy Lite. Compo Closet does make the Cuddy, which is a more traditional composting toilet. This is a more portable camping toilet, which is kind of a bagging situation. And a couple things about it. It's got a urine level indicator, which is a smart LED light up top here. That is powered by a 9-volt battery here in this little compartment. And essentially there is a magnet inside of the urine bottle, and once the liquids fill up to a certain point, that magnet gets sensed by this sensor, and then the light turns on. That's a huge component of these toilets. We have used several others that do not have urine level indicators. Thankfully we have never overflowed it, but we know people who do. Not something you want to deal with.
And for the solids, it's got a little flapper door here. We already emptied it, so you don't have to see it. But try and keep some of the smells in. And then down in there, there's a little kind of lip in case some liquids get to the front. They still get diverted back to the liquid jar. So that would help with that.
And that's one thing about camping toilets. If you haven't used a camping toilet before, the main component is the urine diversion, and you essentially don't want your liquids and your solids mixing. That's what creates sewage, and that's real smelly. So that urine gets diverted into the urine bottle, and then if we open this up here, you can see there's a really solid hinge here, which makes it really easy to just lift, and then you can empty out your tanks. So we have a 1.2 gallon urine tank, and it does have kind of a splash stop type valve there. It's a silicone valve, so kind of one way in. And so when you're driving around, you don't necessarily have to worry about it splashing back up. We did do a toilet comparison where we filled this urine tank and then we dumped it just to see how that would go, and it worked really well.
So yeah, you dump out of there. It's got a little pinhole in it so that it vents.
And we tested the splashback too. When it was full, we kind of like slammed it down and hardly any came out at all, so that was perfect. We also have a 3.9 gallon solids bin, which is the biggest out of any of the camping toilets that we've used and reviewed. For us, we prefer the largest solids bin possible because, number one, it gives you more time off grid. We camped out in Mexico with a different toilet for about 5 to 6 weeks. The solids bin was 2.6 gallons, so this one's quite a bit bigger, and we were finding that that other one only lasted about a week with the two of us. So this one would give us a lot more capacity, which we like because it's a lot easier to empty a small urine tank more often than it is to have to figure out when you're running out of room with your solids bin.
And I actually think the other one was getting pretty unmanageable at around the 5-day mark. So
yeah, I was starting to feel
we were
too
just
full.
out here for 5 days, and this was not an issue. So for extended trips, like she said, solids is more important than liquids because they're easier to get rid of. So that is where this one has become our new favorite because we just can't go as long as we normally do with the other one.
Yeah, capacity is huge. So all we do is line this bin with a garbage bag. I believe you can use like a 5 gallon / 8 liter garbage bag, and then we do layers of, after you go, you do layers of pet litter. You can also use wood chips or coconut coir, or, you know, what have you. Another cool feature about the Cuddy Lite is the optional carbon filter and fan. It does not come with it. It comes built out in order to accommodate it if you want to order that separately. Not only does it vent it with a carbon filter, but it does have a wiring set up so that if you want to, you can hardwire it and actually have that fan running and filtering the air.
We have not used that yet, but we have it in there and we have the option. We haven't done that because for what we're doing, I just haven't gotten around to it yet, and it hasn't been an issue.
Not only that, but because the way that we use the toilet, we typically take it out of the truck and then set it somewhere private around camp to use it, versus someone who might have it fully, built into their rig. You might want to set up the fan and hardwire it into something.
And I do believe some people were wiring it in here, so it was just circulating inside.
Yeah.
To have airflow.
Yeah. If condensation and moisture is a real issue, if you're in a humid place, then you would probably want to do that for that reason. So now that we've kind of gone over the specs, we can talk about some of the pros and cons. We've used a lot of different toilet situations, mostly a bucket. If you guys have been following us a while, you know that we've been using a 5-gallon bucket for a long time. We tried the Trulino in Mexico. Now we're working on the Compo closet. So what's your biggest pro for the Compo closet, you think?
Poop space.
Yeah.
I think having plenty of room for solids is the most important thing.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be mid-trip and have to pull a bag of poop and put it somewhere for the rest of the trip.
Right.
Because that's just not going to be fun. So, that's the best thing about it. I like the seat comfort. It's actually the most comfortable to sit on out of the 3 we've tested.
Yeah.
It feels the sturdiest to me. For the Trulino, I kind of felt, it's weird because it's big, but the Trulino, I felt like I was going to fall into it. So it almost like the rim is, I don't know, something about the ergonomics for me. I don't think you could fall in it, but it just doesn't feel as comfortable as this one.
Yeah. I agree. And I think with the Trulino, the Compo closet is a little bit heavier, but I think that works to its advantage because it feels much more sturdy, both when you're sitting on it and just, working with it, moving it around, opening and closing the lid. The Trulino feels pretty flimsy. And then, just comfort-wise, sitting on it, I think this one is probably more comfortable for me as well.
Pros, space. I mean, that's the number one pro. It's the big pro. They all do the same thing. They hold poo and pee. So, cons. There's a con on this and the Trulino. Is no matter what, it's not fully sealed.
Right.
So when we're driving around off-road, this is bouncing. It's not totally sealed. So there are slight smells that you can have, but it hasn't been terrible. We drove around in an 80-some degree day with it in the back for 6 hours, bouncing around on trails here in Moab, and it you take it out and it vents right away. It's not like it's terrible. But in my perfect world of my perfect toilet companies, I was already thinking of things for this, but if there were a way to really fully seal it and get the smell away, anybody wants to make it, I was imagining some kind of stretchy silicone thing that comes over the top and just creates a seal on it. If anybody wants to come out with that. But that's the only real downfall to them.
Yeah.
And then for all of them, and I know it's not an easy change, would be if you could cap the solids and the liquids, put a solid, the liquids bin is totally closed, and then be able to still have this closed.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's physically possible, but if it was all sealed, basically, is what I'm getting at.
Right.
But these are not major problems by any means.
Yeah, especially for most people. I mean, for me, I'm just thinking we're driving over crazy roads, or sometimes we hit a speed bump in Mexico a little too fast and things kind of go airborne. But for 95% of people, that's not an issue.
Yeah, those are this is my dream perfection toilet. But that's the only 2 things I can think of for it.
Yeah.
And that's all I got.
I agree. So, that's our quick review of the Compo closet. Like Greg said in the beginning, check the link in the description and then look for our discount code for a discount on the Cuddy. It is good for any of the Cuddy products. So that's the Cuddy Lite, which is this one. And then they just came out with the Cuddy S1 as well.
Thanks for watching.